You're tired of being overworked and underpaid, tired of working just to pay bills, tired of showing up and giving your all to a job that cares nothing about your well-being. I understand it. I see you guys. This video is just for you. Welcome to Goddess Games. I am Tamia, your mindset and digital product mentor, and I want to share with you the exact 4-phase journey that helped me break free from survival mode and completely transform my life. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you and tell you that this is some magical fix, but I do want to tell you that if you go through these phases, then you're on your way to a life full of peace, passion, and purpose. So first we have phase one. Phase one is to reflect. Now, this was the hardest phase, y'all, because this is where I had to get real with myself and really ask myself, okay, what is keeping me stuck? What is no longer aligned with where I'm going and who I want to be? Like, I really had to be honest with myself, and that was one of the hardest things that I had to do. So this was not an easy phase, but it's definitely going to be worth it. During this phase, y'all, this is where I started to do shadow work. And if you don't know what shadow work is, that's basically where you just sit with yourself and really reflect and get deep and pull back those layers and figure out where, the thoughts that you have, where do they come from? How are they driving you in your everyday life? All of those things. So I started doing shadow work, y'all. And I really started doing shadow work, around money, because that's one of the things that I've had, struggles with. Like, I used to be a teacher, y'all. I didn't say that, but I used to be a teacher for 3 years. And that was one of the things that was really, really hard for me is, really having that financial stability. So I really wanted to figure out like my relationship with money and why it was so hard for me to get money, or why I felt like it was so hard for me to get money. So I had to really dig deep and go back to my childhood, y'all. We don't understand that our childhood shapes our beliefs and what we think about certain things, specifically with money. So I had to start asking, okay, what are my beliefs about money? Why do I feel these things about money? And how can I, get rid of these beliefs because they are holding me back? Like, I know we've all heard the same things that about money that keep us stuck. Like, money doesn't grow on trees. Money is hard to come by. Money is the root of evil. All of those things are really anchoring you and keeping you stuck in the position that you are. So I had to figure out where those beliefs came from. And then I had to start reframing my mindset to get rid of those beliefs. Another thing I really want to hone into as well is we have this idea of thinking that we have to work hard to get money, y'all. And that's one of the things that I used to think, and I really wanted to get rid of that belief because that's not true, y'all. If everyday people are proving to you that you do not have to work hard to get money. Okay. I want to share something with you guys. So one thing that I watched growing up is my mom. She is a very hard worker, and I commend her. I love her for that. And that's basically what I saw her do is constantly work hard to make sure that she has the money to take care of us. And it's not her fault. Of course, she thought that that was the way to do it. Like, we got to work so hard to get money. But once I started to realize that that's why I believe that, I'm like, okay, I got to get rid of that belief because it's simply just not true, y'all. And like I said, you see every day online where people are proving that you do not have to work hard to get money. So that's one thing I had to really dig deep and figure out where that came from. Also, too, when it came to money, I don't like asking people for money still to this day. Like, when I need help, I don't like asking people for money because you always are made to feel like a burden, like when you need some money from somebody, because everybody is struggling to even have the money. So they can't help you and give you money either. So that's one of the things that I really, really, really wanted to get rid of. Another thing when it comes to this phase, y'all, is you're going to be uncomfortable in this phase. Okay. It's going to be hard for you. You might even cry a little bit. Like, I used to get frustrated, like trying to figure out, okay, what it is about money. And sometimes I wouldn't want to be honest with myself about certain things that were holding me back. But that's the beauty of it, y'all. You're going to have to get uncomfortable to be comfortable. And once I learned that, I'm telling you, that's when everything started to shift for me. Now we have phase two. Phase two is to reimagine. After I, faced those hard truths and really got deep with myself and got honest, I started reframing my mindset. That's when I started to dream again, y'all. Phase two is reimagine, because this is where you're going to start, dreaming about a better life and, really locking in on the vision of your future life and how you want it to look, what you want to do in your future life. How do you dress in your future life? What does your future self look like? All of those things you're going to really figure that out in this phase. So I had to really ask myself, okay, what does peace look like to me? What do I want to get out of life? What makes me feel fulfilled in this life? And so, y'all, that's when I started to really visualize the life that I wanted to live. Okay. And I even created a vision board. If you've never created a vision board before, that is something you definitely should do. This is going to help you keep that vision at the front of your mind. So one thing that I did is I created the vision board and then I hung it up in my room. So every day when I wake up, I see that vision board. So that way I'm making sure that I'm taking aligned action towards that vision every single day. It don't matter if it's small, because small steps are going to lead to big results. So that just helps me keep the vision at the front of my mind. So that way I'm always making sure that I'm not losing sight of what I truly want to get out of life and the life that I truly deserve. And understand that the vision board, it doesn't have to be perfect, y'all. You can literally use what you have. You can even create like a digital vision board and save it as your lock screen. Even if you don't have pictures to print out and stuff like that, use what you have, y'all. You still can do it, and it definitely helps. Okay. Another thing that I did during this phase is I started redefining what success looks like to me and what success means for me. Because a lot of times we feel like, oh, success is based on what society has told us, that you have to have the best job, you have to have degrees and all these titles to really be successful. But I had to realize that's not what success means to me. Okay. Success means living a life that feels free and fulfilling and that I'm actually happy living. Okay. It doesn't matter if I have the degree, if I have the best job, if I'm not happy, y'all. And that's what success means to me. So that's what you got to start doing too. What do you feel like success means to you? Stop worrying about what somebody else told you that success means. Okay. And understand too, a lot of times we're made to feel ungrateful because we want more out of life. Once we start feeling like, okay, this is just not enough for me, people start to look at you like you're being ungrateful. But it's like, I'm grateful for the things that I have, but it's just like, I know this is not what I want. I want more, and you are allowed to want more. Okay. That does not mean that you're ungrateful or selfish or anything. It means that you're just self-aware and you know what you want out of life. Okay. And you're not just going based off what society has told you. Phase 3 is to rebuild. This is where you're actually going to start working towards the life that you want to live, y'all. You got to take aligned action, because yes, you can visualize it all day, you can wish, you can dream, but if you do nothing about it, y'all, that's not going to do nothing for you. Okay. So you got to start taking action towards the life that you actually want to live. So after I quit teaching, y'all, I quit teaching May of 2024. After I quit teaching, this is where I started to try to build a business for myself. So me and my twin sister, we started to build a business. It was going to be a business where we're going to do like custom designs and stuff like that. And we spent like the whole summer. It was like 4 months of us trying to get our business off the ground. Business did ended up, failing. It didn't really take off the way we wanted it to, but that's okay, y'all. So I didn't let that discourage me. That's when I got into digital marketing. During the rebuild phase is when I started digital marketing, y'all. Okay. So I got started with digital marketing on December 16th of 2024. And we've been going strong for 5 months now. I've generated over 3.7K in this space. Now we have phase 4, y'all. Phase 4 is reignite. This is where you're going to start becoming the version of you that you actually love. Who do you want to be? During this phase, you're going to start actually being that person, y'all. Don't wait till you feel like you have enough money to try to become the person that you want to be. Go ahead and do it now. And that's literally what I started doing. I started becoming the version of myself that I knew I was all along. I gave my future self a name, y'all. And it sounds corny. It might sound weird to you, but it actually helps. I named myself Mia 2.0. So every single day, y'all, I'm showing up as Mia 2.0. Okay. And I actually saw this idea on TikTok and I thought, okay, that's something that I need to try out. So I gave myself the future name and I started to really, define, what does Mia 2.0 look like? What does she dress like? How does she wake up in the morning? What is her everyday routine? Okay. Once I figured that out, then I started doing small things to, become Mia 2.0. I created a morning routine for myself and a nightly routine for myself. It's called Morning Mindfulness and Nightly Nourishment. And a part of this routine is where I wake up in the morning and I give gratitude. Okay. I have a gratitude prayer. I say affirmations. I lock in on my manifestations and, journal and ground myself before I get started with the day. Then I also have the nightly nourishment. This is where I do the same thing, but I just do it before bed at night. And a lot of times before I go to sleep, I'll visualize myself, being the person that I want to be. Like, even if, my physical reality is not showing what I wanted to show, none of that matters, y'all. Okay. Once you start being that person, okay, you got to understand your future self is already living the life that you want to live. So you got to step into that version of yourself right now. Do not wait to feel like, okay, now I have enough money to step into the person. No, because the more you wait, you're going to keep waiting and you're never going to get to where you want to be. So you want to go ahead and start doing that now. Those two routines, y'all, literally changed my life. And you can start doing those things in your life too. If you don't want to, make it so extensive, just simply wake up every morning and start giving gratitude. Okay. Find something that you can do even if you're on the way to work. Also, during this phase, y'all, is where I started showing up with confidence. Okay. I started really stepping out of my comfort zone because, like I said before, you got to get uncomfortable to be comfortable. Your comfort zone is keeping you stuck. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. So I started showing up with confidence, y'all. I started, like I said, I started digital marketing. So I started going live on TikTok, something that I never thought I would do, something that I never saw myself ever doing, putting myself out there in front of the world like that. But I just did it, y'all. I didn't think twice about it because if I did, I would have never done it. So I just did it. And I'm like, now it's crazy because I'm confident. When I get on live now, it's nothing for me. I don't feel nervous like I used to or anything like that because your confidence is going to build the more you do it. You just got to start showing up with confidence. Even if you got to fake, don't be fake, but even if you got to fake it till you make it, even if you got to, still be authentic, but still show up like the version of yourself that is confident, even if you don't feel as confident. And you don't want to wait until you feel ready because you're never going to feel ready. Whatever goals or dreams that you have, go ahead and start working towards those goals. Don't wait till you feel ready because nobody will ever feel ready. You're not going to be perfect. There's not a perfect time, a perfect moment. Perfectionism is not real, y'all. So if you're trying to live up to that, I need you to stop right now. Okay. The time is going to go by regardless. So go ahead and get started even when you don't feel ready, even if you're scared. That's literally what I had to do when I started going live. Because, like I said, if I would have constantly waited to feel ready, I would have never gotten started. Those are the 4 phases, y'all. Let's kind of give a recap of the 4 phases. So, phase 1, you have reflect. Phase 2, reimagine. Phase 3, rebuild. And then phase 4 is reignite. I'm confident that if you use this 4 phase journey, if you use this framework, then you're going to start living the life that you want to live. These are the exact phases that helped me go from burnout to breakthrough. And now it's your turn, goddess. It's time for you to start taking aligned action and really live the life that you want because nobody's going to come save you. Okay. Nobody's going to do it for you. You got to choose yourself and do it for yourself. If you're ready to take the next step, I have a Goddess Game starter kit that's going to actually help you start taking steps towards that life. Okay. It has action steps inside of it, exercises that you can utilize to start reframing your mindset. There's a self-assessment so you can really figure out, okay, is this what I want to do? Is it time for me to start pivoting and maybe get into digital marketing and selling digital products? Inside of the Goddess Game Starter Kit, you're also going to have access to my free Facebook group, the Digital Confidence Inner Circle. And inside of that Facebook group, if you join, you're going to be able to get the Burnout to Breakthrough framework, which is the phases that we just went through. And there's actually an action plan that you can utilize so that way you can start, taking your journey through these 4 phases as well. So make sure you click the link in my bio. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next video.